Everyone, Carrie back here with FamilyEbiz. Today, what we are doing is having an open house, and I'll sort of tell you a little bit about how this is going to work. Um, I have got a few things I'd like to share with you, three things that I believe hold people back from success. I also want to sort of pull the curtain back, give you a little sneak peek into the mastermind because I have a few openings, and so I opened it up this week, and I really want to find just the right people that would be able to participate and it would really help their business. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to open it up for Q&A. So if you've got questions about what we talk about or about the mastermind, let me know and we will do those at the end. If you want to type it in the comments, that would be great as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What I want to do, and I do want to give you a little background. One of the reasons I actually started the FamilyEbiz Mastermind gosh, it's been like 4 years, I think, at least, maybe even longer. And we have some people that have been around a long time. You know, some people come and go, but for the most part, there are some of our mastermind members that are still there. In fact, I had one of our mastermind members who's in a couple groups, and she's like, they need to get in yours, Carrie, because they actually get marketing strategies and things. It's not just a feel-good thing. And there are some groups that are support, but what I wanted was a blend. I wanted small groups of people that could help each other. And like I was talking to Annette Breedlove, she's a wizard with Google Calendar. So I had the opportunity. I didn't have to know all that. She could share that in our small group. And then we actually, I got on and we did a Zoom call and interviewed her, and she showed me exactly how she uses it so she can get more done. So there's a lot of benefits. The one thing I will say is when Steve and I joined our first mastermind, which was back in 2008, can you believe that was 16 years ago? When we joined, we had to fly to Washington, D.C. 3 or 4 times a year, pay for the hotel and pay for our meals and pay for our travel expenses and pay the $10,000 a year fee. And I know that a lot of the people that I work with don't have that kind of money. So I wanted to make something that was somewhat similar, but really gave more help along the way, because I don't know about you, but I really deal sometimes with just being a solopreneur. And if you're a solopreneur and you're not, you need that support, you need that accountability. That's why we meet every single month. And that is why it is a lot less expensive. If you haven't looked, my normal price is $97, and I think I'm going to get back to that pretty soon. But I reduced it, especially after COVID, to $47 a month. And I think it's economical. If you are running a business and you want to get to the next level, this is where you need to be. And it is very economical. I still pay more than 47 for some of the mastermind groups that I'm in as well. So let's do this. I'm going to pull the curtain back, show you a little bit about it. Then I want to talk about the three things that I think hold a lot of us back. And I'm going to be preaching to myself as much as I do to anyone else. But let me, okay. I wonder if this thing ever, there's one section that I'm having a hard time getting into the thing, but let me share my screen. So this is the actual first little section that you're going to get into when you join or when you sign up. And so you can see, although I can't, let me move my screen to show you that. There we go. What is showing up now? It wasn't showing. I think it was just taking a while to show up. So this is just our general mastermind group, and everyone that joins gets access to this. There's a welcome video that sort of tells you what to do. We have the application. Yes, we do go through application. And then this was an older version of the class that I did on Tuesday, but I've got it up there. And then the three things holding you back from success. You get a copy of these in here, so you can always go back and watch them. You'll also get your 2 bonuses here, and the library bonus I'll show you in a minute. But so those are the bonuses. You can just see it's not much, just the videos. If y'all have questions along the way, let me know. So that is just our general. Then we've got to decide where are you going to go or what day of the week, what time, all of that. Which small group are you going to get into? And once you do that, then you're going to be in something like this. This is our Tuesday one. And again, we've got this. And then down the side, you'll see all the different information that you need. You'll have dates here. These are the 2024, but you've even got 2 years worth of meetings if you want to go back and watch any of them. You might actually learn some things because we've talked about it. You'll get your meeting dates, you get your Zoom login all right in this area. So we've already got all of that planned. Then we do give a list of recommended resources. I haven't even mentioned that in anything that I've been talking about. And then you'll get access to these training videos. This is the library, and I'll just give you a quick look. But, here we go. Say yes. And then it's got the workbook, and these are other resources. Oh, that's 2024. And I just did March, and it's not here. So let's go to 2023. So there's one. It's got a lot of links there. Then you'll come down here, and that's interview that we did talking about messaging and matching. So you can see we have lots of videos, and then all the links that go with it are your printables that go with it. And we have interviews. Some of them are ones that I've done and some of them that other people have done as well. Then when you come down here, you'll also see we have a whole section, again, I haven't even mentioned this, that has all the different PDFs and things that we offer. And you'll get a roster. Then down here, what will happen is once we record, like this was last month's meeting, you get it right there. And if you miss, you can go back and watch, and you can submit your questions ahead of time and be able to do that as well. And so that's pretty cool because even if you have a conflict, you can actually submit your questions and we will brainstorm those and help you along the way. So that's sort of an overview. The one last thing I do want to show you about the Mastermind is this. If you pay for our annual, you will get access to our boost course. And this is our boost course. This is to start here with all your printables, your roadmap that you need. And then you've got your foundation module, your lead magnets and landing pages module, email and web pages, and then your marketing and lists. So I just want you to be able to see that before we dive in. Plus, I thought that would give people a chance to actually jump on and get here for the 3 things that are holding you back for success. Let me know if you have questions about any of this. I'm happy to talk about it. But let's dive into 3 things that are holding you back from success. Let me pull out my little notes. And I would like, before I actually go diving in, I should have asked this at the very beginning, leave something in the comment and tell me what's holding you back from success. What is the biggest challenge in running a business right now, or getting started and actually pulling the trigger, or getting from where you are to the next level? Leave something in the chat. Let me know have a comment, and I would love to be able to address those as well. If you're getting started, I think this is really important to pay attention because then you can avoid some of these problems. The first, I believe, first thing that's holding you back is perfectionism. I don't know about you, but I'm going to really pull us back. Let me unblur my background because I do have a few prompts. Dean Kennedy is one of my mentors, and he says, good is good enough. Think about that. Good is good enough. Too often, we are not going to put it out there unless it's perfect. And that is not what we need to do. We need to get it out there. And you can go to my FamilyEbiz site and you can see a lot of mistakes. And there are things I know I need to fix. Same with my homeschool niche. But I've got it out there, and that's what matters. So, I host 2 events every year for my homeschool moms. And every time I do it, I'm like, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have done that. Feel like it needs to be better, but I refuse to just stop and wait on perfectionism. Seth Godin, who wrote a book called The Big Move, stop trying to be perfect and start being remarkable. That actually reminds me of a book that I borrowed from my daughter. Let me just pull it up. And it's unreasonable hospitality. It's similar as far as unremarkable. You want to be remarkable. I mean, you want people to pay attention to you. Here's what he says. Ship it. Too many of you sit on it instead of ship it. We sit on something instead of actually doing anything. Oh, but I'm not trying to be perfect. I just want to get it right. It's still the same thing. You're not getting it out there, and it does not need to be perfect. And so I think it's more powerful to put something out there than to sit on it till tomorrow. Or you know, you want it to be, well, I don't want to embarrass myself. Well, you know what? I've embarrassed myself plenty of times. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. How do we overcome perfectionism? I think one thing is you give yourself grace and patience. And my mentor, Amy Porterfield, says, accept sub A work. You can even accept B work. It does not need to be straight A work. That is okay. And B is better than never, putting it out there. Take one baby step every day instead of working on it and waiting 2 months and then working on it again. So Lao Tzu says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So you've got to start somewhere and you need to just take a step. Is this easy or hard for you? Leave something in the comments and let me know what you think. The next thing, so we've got perfectionism. The next one is fear. And I think a lot of people are playing at an online business. It's a hobby business, and that's okay. But if you're serious about using this income to support yourself, you've got to get serious about what you are doing. What are you scared of? If you have fear, what are you scared of? And Jerry Ann just said, I'm afraid of taking major steps. Am I prepared, afraid of messing up? And not knowing what I'm doing, not being complete. And I would say you do have to know a little bit about what you're doing. And that's one thing I really love, and I know Jerry does about the mastermind, is we give you proven processes. We tell you strategies that are making me money and other people money. And then we improve on those and you get accountability as well. And so I think it's really important that we realize what we're afraid of. And you may not know everything, like, oh my goodness, if y'all only knew the things I don't know about tech and the mistakes I make, it's crazy, but I still do it. Eleanor Roosevelt had a really interesting quote. Let's see if I'm holding this out. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realize how seldom they do. If you are scared and you're comparing yourself to other people, think about what Eleanor Roosevelt said. You wouldn't be so scared because they're really not thinking about you that much anyway. Or maybe you're afraid of failure, a goose egg. And let me tell you, I have had 0 sales many times. And so that's okay. And our failures are what make us better in the end. And so I think that's important. Another thing that Dan Kennedy said is fail fast. The quicker you fail, the quicker you can pick yourself up and then do it a better way. You learn and you adjust until next time. And Jerry says the masterminds help my fear because I get confirmation from my group. And tech, Jerry, I appreciate you sharing that. Tech is it's just like snowball. And y'all know my websites have crashed and people are trying to get on it. But I will tell you, you can get help. I will say, I'm just thinking about Jerry Ann. There's a woman in our small group that she is in that I don't know how long it's taken to just get the lead magnet up and the email system connected well. Well, Jerry Ann uses the same platform as this girl, and so they were able to help each other with the tech issues. In fact, last month during her 30-minute session in the mastermind, we just stopped for 10 minutes. We got on her website and we got it set up right there. And so I do think that's what's cool. And there are step-by-step videos and things that can help you get past that. I think it's important too to go big or go home. My son's senior football t-shirt said, go hard, go home. And I think that's what we need to do. When we play small, it just sort of delays any kind of success that we might have. Quit testing. More than that, quit researching. People spend so much time researching, they never do anything. And as I think I sent this, no, it's going out this afternoon. One of our students, name escapes me, I can see her. Analysis paralysis. You can spend so much time analyzing before you ever pull the trigger. That is a problem. And that is because of fear as well. And she was just talking about once she had been sat down with Steve and I, she got the support that she needed. So I think you need to be fully present, but that doesn't mean it's a full-time job. So what do? You just take the next step and then the next step. All right. When I started Homeschool Superheroes again in 2019, it was a whole different way. I'll be honest, I was scared to death. And did I know all the tech? No, I wasn't even sure how I was going to pay my affiliates and get it all set up. But I knew a few people and they helped me where I needed help and it worked. And it's probably one of our most successful weeks of events that particular year as well. So you can get past that fear. A lot of it is just keep taking the very next step. Oh, I like that. Fail is first attempt in learning. That's what Jerry said. And that's really true. You fail and then you learn from it and you keep moving. First attempt in learning. All right. Another thing that Eleanor Roosevelt said is we gain strength and courage and confidence with each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we cannot. And that's what I think she's talking about. Mark Twain also says something that I really appreciated. He says, come see it. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. All right. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is pushing straight forward into our fear. I think that is just so important. And I know one of our mastermind students, Mara, she she just keeps plugging along. But it took her like a year to be able to choose niche. She changed her niche like 3 or 4 times. And then she sort of nailed it all down. And she continued to just take little bitty steps. Now it may take her a while, but she would keep taking just the next step and facing her fears. So perfectionism fear. Number 3 is imposter syndrome. What do I mean by that? Because it may be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I would say, what does imposter syndrome mean? Put something in the comment, or if you've ever had to deal with imposter syndrome. I personally do. Some people feel like they're just not good enough. I'm a fraud and everyone else is going to find out. My course isn't good enough. My website's not good enough. It's not all doing everything. It's a bunch of negative thinking up here. And that negative energy takes away from pushing forward and doing what you need to do. So I think it's important that we dream big and we take action. But again, it's one step at a time. And when you have people alongside you to cheer you on your wins and to hold you accountable, that is what makes it so much better. And you can stop worrying because you have people to go to. Now, I'm going to give you a few examples that surprise me of people that deal with imposter syndrome. John Steinbeck, novelist. I'm not a writer. I've been fooling myself and other people. Yeah, he probably won a Pulitzer Prize or something. Meryl Streep, I alluded to this the other day. You'd think, why would anyone want to see me again in a movie? And I don't know how to act anyway, so why am I doing this? This is Meryl Streep. She's won 3, 4, 5 Oscars. Kate Winslet. Sometimes I wake up in the morning before going off to a shoot and I think, I can't do this. I'm afraid. Jennifer Lopez, okay? She says, even though she's sold over 70 million, the number's probably higher now, albums, she says, I'm no good at this. That's how she feels. And then Jodie Foster, so I like what she had to say. So she said when she won the Oscar, she thought, oh, it's a fluke. I thought everybody would find out and they'd take it back. They'd come to my house, knocking on my door and say, excuse me, we meant to give that to someone else. That was going to Meryl Streep. You see, people that are successful still deal with imposter syndrome. How do we overcome it? Let's look at what Amy Cuddy says. She says, focus less on the impression you're making to others and more on the impression you're making to yourself or on yourself. You need to be honest with yourself, with your ability, your credibility, your success. Sometimes just having integrity, even if you don't know everything, but you have integrity and credibility, you can be successful. Tell me, is there one thing that you've been successful of or proud of in the last 6 months? Put that in the comments. That would be great to hear. So first, we need to be honest. There are things we can do. And Jerry's here. She's an awesome quilter. I have seen videos and pictures of her quilts. They are gorgeous. And so for that part, she should feel very successful. And we should all be able to think of at least one thing that we've been successful with recently. The other thing is we want to replace the lies in our head with truth. We need to silence these voices. All right. So I write down, if there's a lie, I will write it down and then I will write the truth about it. And I think that's really important. And then I will say that truth and affirmation. Personally, my truths come from the Bible because of my faith. And so that is something that I can say out loud each morning. Then the other thing is let my why be bigger than my worry. Amy Porterfield said that as well. I want to tell you a little story about Amy. When she first started, and I think I have the right words, the right numbers, her very first launch of her course, she made $267. Not 267 million, but 267, period. But she picked herself up and she did a little different. She made 30,000. And then the next time she made 118,000. And then she made 283,000. The next time, 950,000. I don't know how many millions she makes in her launches now. Mark Victor Hansen, who is a business person and a speaker that encourages business, he says, don't wait until everything is just right. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges and obstacles and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful. So you don't wait. You just got to take the baby steps. And Jerry said, thank you. I think I'm doing better at consistency and blogging and newsletters. I know you are because you've been telling us about what you're doing, And the other thing is, again, we don't go back and compare ourselves. That's what causes fear. And if someone else is putting out a blog post every day, forget it. Just be happy that you do it once a week or every other week. Do something that works for your schedule when you're getting started. The other thing is just showing up. Perseverance, just showing up every day leads to character. I know Justina, one of our mastermind members, she was like, it is so nice to have this support. And because being a solopreneur is lonely. And it is lonely. That's another reason we created the FamilyEbiz Mastermind as well, so that you would have a group of people to come to. And whether you're a Bible person or not, this is true. And it says, suffering or failure produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, hope, and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into us through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. Perseverance leads to character, and we continue to push into that. We get up from the fall and then we walk, and maybe we fall again and then we run, or maybe we crawl. It doesn't matter, but we're constantly getting up from whatever it is. So take a step back, see where you are, see what kind of roadblocks are there. And on those roadblocks, you're either going to go around them, over them, or straight through them, but you've got to get to the other side with whatever's in your way. And if you need help, ask people. But then you might be going, well, who do I ask? And sometimes that's a hard question to know. That is another reason we have pulled together the FamilyEbiz Mastermind, because you've got trustworthy people and you've got people at all different levels in the big group. And then usually our small groups have different levels as well. So I've told you about this. One thing I mentioned this the other day, but not here. It is really like having a trusted board of advisor. It's like having your own personal board of advisors. When you're finished, as Jerry knows, or any of our masterminds, we create a personalized action plan for the next 4 weeks. And that is sent to you so you know exactly what you're working on. Because focus, some of us, we sit down and we don't have a clue what to do. I know Sarah Miller, she said, working with Carrie was so good because I became more intentional. I saw what I was supposed to do. And it wasn't like just doing whatever came up that day or the email that showed up and I just spent a lot of time doing whatever that email was. So, and Jan Bird is another person, and she just told me so much. Carrie, I've been in a lot of groups, and a lot of them say they're going to hold me accountable, and they don't. Your group holds me accountable. I will do anything and work with you as well. So, what questions do y'all have? And I'm going to look down here because I think I got a few extras. I will say this, it just opened up today. Anyone that's already signed up or who signs up before the end of the weekend, I'm going to have a group coaching call end of March or 1st of April. I haven't decided when. And it will be for all the new mastermind people that need to, we'll do 1 hour and you'll be able to get your questions answered and we'll talk through those things, not about the mastermind. Get your questions answered about your business, about taking that next step. So that is an awesome, it's worth about $100. And so that would be something that might be helpful to you if you decide to go ahead and sign up. Now, let me see what my other notes are. I've already said coaching call. All right. What questions do you have? I did have a few submitted, so I wanted to make sure that I got them. What levels does this apply for? And that's a really good question. If you're just getting started, you might as well start off on the right track. But if you are making a part-time income and you're trying to get to the next level, and I will tell you this, if you join, you actually have to do what we talk about. It's not like you can just join and then 1 hour before the next meeting get something done. You do have to try every week. You need to be putting into place the things that we talk about, whatever that personalized action plan is. So it does take some work. This is not a gumball machine where you put some money in and a gumball comes out. You put some money in and your sales in your shopping cart come out. You are going to have to do some work. So if you're not willing to do some work, then this probably isn't the place for you as well. Um, and so anyone that's not making a full-time income, anyone that is at a place in their business and they want to get to the next level, and we sort of find the holes. I have some people that have been in business online for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and they're still learning things about funnels for the first time or marketing because all they were doing was just getting information out to the people. So that should help. Let's see. I also wanted to say a lot of ours, we have some that are stay-at-home moms. We have some people that have businesses and this is a side hustle. So it really just depends. We've got people at all different levels. What's another question? When do we start? If you sign up, Monday is when we're going to close the doors. So if you sign up, then you're going to be in the March Mastermind group. We have openings in 2 groups and they meet the following week. I think that's the week of March 18th. And so that will be the group, one of those groups. There's multiple ones that week that you would be a part of. So as soon as you sign up, you are going to be in a group as well. We'll have to figure out which one has the best option, best timing, that type of thing for you. Okay, another question is, in the groups, do you group them all at the same level? How do you decide who's in the group? First thing we do look at is your schedule. We want to make sure that it's a time that you can come. But the other thing is we want to have different levels of business. We want someone getting started with someone that's part-time, with someone that's actually making an income as well. And you may think, well, I don't know if I want any new people in my group, but you know what? I like new people because I get a whole new perspective and it tells me something about my people. Even in my homeschool, it helps me go back and see what life was like when I was just getting started with whatever that business is. And they can also have fresh eyes on your website. Maybe you've looked at it so much that you just take things for granted, and they might see some holes that you hadn't even recognized. So we try to mix up the levels of what's going on. Do I have to sign up now? You don't have to sign up today, but if you want to join, you need to join by Monday night. We will be closing the doors for several months. I'm not exactly sure. It will at least be middle to end of the summer before we open up the doors again. So if you're interested, that's one thing we need to consider. All right, can you explain the difference between Boost and the Family eBiz Mastermind? Yes, in fact, I'm going to share my screen again. Let me, okay. So here is the Boost course. Here is the Tuesday group. Tuesday, you can see you've got trainings, you've got library with videos and PDFs. You have dates because we keep every month we meet, and then you have recordings of each of the monthly meetings. Boost is a single course. It normally comes out 4 weeks, a week for each module. You'll get your welcome part with your roadmap, your charts, because Boost is all about boosting tools that boost you to the next level. And the chart, we have three strands. We have the getting started, the ones in the middle, and then the ones that have been around but really want to scale their business even further. So we do have charts like that as well. So then what we do is 4 modules. The first one is solid foundation. A lot of y'all are in a business and it may have been going for 2 or 3 years, but you did not start with the solid foundation. And so you need to go through this. I would say no matter what. I mean, even when I listen to myself again, I'm like, oh, I need to do that. Then we're going to move, and this is in order of how you start a business. Solid foundation, just like a house needs a solid foundation. Then we build our list, lead magnets, landing page. You work on your list. We're still not worried about a product. If you don't have a list of, say, 200 people, you've got to keep working on your list. So that's what module 2 is about: lead magnets, landing pages, building that list. Then we're going to move into emails and web pages and doing that as well. And the very last part of that lesson is product launches. But you can see, look, all those lessons before you ever create a product that you need to go through. Then the last one is more marketing. Lesson 1 is more list building ideas, and then some what things that you can do to help scale your business as well. So Boost is a course, and you have lifetime access if you pay for the year in full. And Mastermind is every single month going forward. So I hope that answers the question. Let's see. Any more questions here? Thoughts, comments? Not quite sure. Let's see. I had some people here, and we've had people coming and going on Facebook. Thanks so much for carving time out of your day today. If you do have questions, let me know. I know some of you are very interested, and I would be happy to, even jump on a little 5-minute Zoom call. I am leaving today to go get a pedicure with my granddaughters. That's their birthday gift to me. And tomorrow is my 7-year-old's real birthday on March 9th. So we will be having a family birthday party. So tomorrow will be sort of busy. I won't necessarily be checking online, but I will probably check a little bit. I don't really like to work on Sunday, but I will check when I get back. And then I will definitely Monday. We'll be back and forth and planning calls. So if anyone's got questions, let's get on a quick little, 5 or 10 minute Zoom call, and let's see if this is what is going to be helpful to you. You can go to familyebiz.com/mastermind, and that will have the correct sign up page, familyebiz.com/mastermind. And that will give you, you're going to get a lot more information. Oh, the one thing I forgot to tell you is we have a private Facebook group, a community where you can, in between your meetings, go and get anyone and everyone's help. So it's not just your group. And so that's another place that we will do. I didn't even talk about the quarterly challenges because they're in the Facebook group. And this month is going to be content creation. And I'm thinking I'm going to start it in the middle of next week after we have any new members join us as well. Okie dokie. Thank y'all so much for being here and spending time with me. Let me know what questions you have. I'm Carrie Beck with the Family eBiz Mastermind. We'll talk to you later.